Hello and welcome to my latest video on Jurassic World Alive. In today's video I'm going to be reviewing the output of a recent data mine of the game. Now some of you may be wondering, what is a data mine? It's where clever people look at the code of the game to identify potential new features or creatures that may be coming in the game in future updates. There's absolutely nothing guaranteed here, so don't shoot me if none of these or some of these creatures don't end up being in the game, okay? No guarantees. We'll start off with Albertosinos. The name starts with Alberto, and the only creature we have in the game currently that matches that is Albertosaurus. So I think this is a strong candidate for contributing to this potential hybrid. We also had an Albertosaurus incubator recently in the market, so for me that's a pretty good indicator that there is a hybrid coming along in the future. Okay, so addressing the Spinous element, so we have two Spinosauruses in the game. We have the rare Spinosaurus, which currently contributes DNA to two hybrids, namely Spinotoraptor and Spinoconstrictor. Then we have the epic Spinosaurus Gen 2. This currently only contributes DNA to one hybrid, and that is Spinonix. So for me, I think Albertospinous is going to be a mix of Albertosaurus and Spinosaurus Gen 2, and my guess would be that it would be a unique creature. That being the case, I think this could be a really formidable creature. It'll be a fierce class. That being the case, I think this could be a formidable and much needed fierce class creature. Standout abilities for me include Killer Instinct with its priority move and damage over time from that Spinosaurus Gen 2 ability. That's certainly going to put Testacornibus in its place, as well as I think that'll certainly put Testacornibus in its place, as well as being a useful participant in raids. Okay, on to Ankylosaurus Lux. So it looks like we're getting another Ankylosaurus hybrid after last month's Ankylomoloch. With the Lux suffix, surely this means another Parasaurolophus Lux hybrid. As a legendary, I think this would give us an indication that this new hybrid would be a unique. I don't see it being an apex hybrid, as we've just had Arctovasilas, and I suspect Lugia will want to see how the community gets on with one apex hybrid before adding another. So, what will the Ankylo creature be? Well, last month the epic Ankylosaurus was the creature of the month. So for me, I think we're looking at the epic Ankylosaurus and Parasaurolophus Lux. And on to Fukuimimus. Okay, so let's start off with addressing the pronunciation. It's not pronounced Fukuimimus. Okay, as fun as that would be, let's get the playground humour out of the way here. It's not Fukuimimus. Okay? Fukuisaurus was discovered in the Fukui region of Japan, and this is where the name comes from. So it's Fukuimimus. So Fukuisaurus is an unknown entity with respect to the game, so we can only focus on the mimus element of the new creature's name. So for me, the big giveaway is at the bottom of the screen here. We may be having a new Fukuimimus raid. If you cast your mind back to the 2.6 update, it introduced new continental creatures, Rhyncenia, Stegosaurus, and Struthiomimus. We have since had raid bosses based on Stegosaurus and Rhyncenia in the 2.10 update, but nothing to date for Struthiomimus. So my money is on Struthiomimus being a contributor to the Fukuimimus hybrid, and in line with the other continental influenced raid bosses, I think this will be a legendary creature. Finally, in the November 26th data mine, we have Troodoboa, or Troodoboa. Not surprisingly, I'm going for the epic Troodon for this one. For the boa element, we have a number of potential contributors, but my money is on Troodoboa. It's recently had an incubator in the market, which seemed a bit random, so I think this is an indication of a future hybrid. Okay, so in summary, this is where I'm putting my money. So Albertosinos, I think, will be a fierce, unique creature. It will have Albertosaurus and Spinosaurus Gen 2 DNA. Okay, so that's my prediction if this creature ends up being in the game. For Fukuimimus, I think that will be a cunning, resilient creature, and it'll be legendary, and it will be based on Troodoboa. As I said, that continental influence. And on to Ankylosaurus Lux. I see this as being a resilient and unique creature. We've got Arctodus Lux as a legendary, so this is going to be either unique or apex. And as I mentioned earlier, I don't see this being another apex hybrid. And then we've got the epic Ankylosaurus feeding into that. So we've got two resilient creatures, so I think this is going to be clearly a resilient creature, and as I said, unique. Onto Troodoboa, this being a cunning, resilient and unique creature. So Troodon is a cunning creature and Troodoboa is resilient, so I think he'll get the best of both those worlds, and I see that being a unique rather than a legendary. I think it's time for another unique snake in addition to Spinoconstrictor, which has been pretty successful in the meta. Okay, and as a bonus Datamine review, we've got the Datamine update from the 30th of November, and this is quite an exciting one actually. We've got Arctodus is out for hibernation and roaming the map. Collect the short-faced bear from the 20th of December to the 25th of January. So plenty of opportunities there to dart as much DNA as we can. And boy, do we need a lot of DNA. So if we have a look at this DNA requirements for the Apex hybrid Arctovasilas, you can see that just to create the hybrid Arctodus, the legendary Arctodus, we need 32,000 DNA from each of the rare creatures. That's just to create and evolve Arctodus to level 25, where you can start building DNA to fuse the Apex. So that is a lot of DNA. Okay, so for the rare deer Cervalclus, we've got obviously it's the season at the moment, so because obviously we've got the season is based on the deer. In the battle arena, the more trophies you get, the more DNA you're going to get as a reward at the end of the month. And obviously the top players, if they're getting over 8,000 trophies, they're getting 30,000 deer DNA. So they're very much on their way to creating and evolving the legendary hybrid to then build up DNA for the Apex. So we've got the opportunity between the 20th of December to the 25th of January to dart the bear, and I think this is probably 100% certainty this is going to happen. The bear is not available at the moment. We can't dart it. We can't get any DNA for it. So there has to be an opportunity for players to dart and obtain DNA for the bear. And this seems like a nailed-on certainty to allow that to happen for players. So that's the predictions based on the Datamine information. Please do comment below if you disagree or even agree with my predictions. I'd be very interested to hear your views on the Datamine information and what conclusions you've drawn from those. I'm not saying that I certainly don't know what's happening. So these are my predictions are based on just my kind of feel for the game, a little bit of the history, indicators, and just what I feel is going to happen. So it'll be a bit of fun. We'll see what how my predictions map out, and in a future Datamine video we'll review my predictions, see how I did, see how well I did or how badly I did, and then we can go from there. Could be a bit of fun. Okay, so please do comment below, and I hope you enjoyed my video.
Thank you very much for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed it or found it informative. Please do provide feedback in the description below. I always respond to comments, so please feel free to add your comments, feedback or suggestions. Okay, until next time, this is Alien Newt.